and Innovation at Bibhudatta University of Technology, Rourkela. Sir, I will kindly request you to come on stage and privilege us. Moving forward, it's my privilege to introduce Mr. Shravan Nayak, partner at Deloitte, India, and a seasoned leader with 25 years of experience in technology and business transformation. Sir, I kindly request you to come on stage. I kindly request Mr. Kvsn Prasad to come on stage, the Chief Business Officer of Fungi Consulting Private Limited, with a stellar career spanning nearly 4 decades. Mr. Prasad has demonstrated expertise in strategy, roadmaps, operational excellence, and change management and process re-engineering. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Raj Sahu, Director of CNET Consultancy Services Private Limited, Rourkela. Sir, I kindly request you to come on stage. It's an honor to introduce Mr. Suraj K Raj, an exemplary leader and the chairman of the Raj Group of companies, which comprise JetSmart IT Services LLP, Raj Enterprises, ELS Empowerment Limited, Raj Petrochemical Limited, and Moons Collections LLP. Sir. It's an honor to introduce Mr. Uday, the CEO and co-founder of Kristellar Aerospace Private Limited, a visionary leader and innovator. Mr. Das has redefined the boundaries of aerospace technology and leading his company to develop groundbreaking solutions. Sir, I kindly request you to come on stage. It's my privilege to introduce Mr. Jagannath, a district east professional with over 18 years of experience in the IT service. Mr. Oraon serves as the Additional Director at the Software Technology Parks of India under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Sir. Now it's time to hear from a true trailblazer in the field of computer science and engineering, Professor Bibhudatta Sahoo, the head of Department of Computer Science and Engineering at the prestigious institute, National Institute of Technology, Rourkela. Sir, I kindly request you to come on stage. I request all the participants to encourage the panelists with a big round of applause. At the last but not the least, I will request Mr. Priyadarshi Mahanti from Future Tech Solutions Limited, SAP, to come on stage. Sir. Please encourage the panel with a big round of applause here. As we move forward, we have an exciting session lined up next. It's my privilege to invite the leaders and innovators to come on stage and for the panel discussion. I'll request the moderator, Mr. Manoranjan Mahapatra, to take forward the panel discussion. Thank you.
Hello. Sir.
Good afternoon. I think post-lunch we'll have slightly a tough session, but anyway, this will be a panel discussion where I think the format will slightly change because the introduction took a lot of time. So what we will do instead of that, we'll keep engaging one person. I'm sure, people are from varieties, various fields with a lot of exposure, starting from consulting to enterprise to product, and government regulatories are also there, like people from STP are there. So you will get a good exposure. We'll try to see that what is the fitment, because IT industry, no, but I can talk 5 or 10 minutes for that, but I think everybody is aware that it is one of the huge revenue generating source for India and for employment, right? Globally it is in the tune of maybe, projected US by 2020 it should be around $25,000 billion. You can imagine what is the size of business it is talking about. And in India, I think around 50% of, we are talking of total IT industry. So it includes services, product, what do you call, anything which goes into that. Like for example, EV, certain portions are considered as IT, right? You must have heard of NVIDIA, which broke all the records of NASDAQ. So I will not go into this detail. We can discuss separately if you are interested. So it is definitely a promising field, but it's highly volatile, highly changing. Like I remember, I think last time we had a panel discussion, something where NIT director or head was there. He told a very nice thing which I cannot forget. We were talking of Industry 4.0. So it says, right now it is already 5. By the time I move out of my room, it will be 6 or 7. So that is the kind of, what you call change is happening in IT industry, right? In India, the good part is that it is supposed, these numbers have been taken from Google only. Your 7.5% of GDP is approximately coming from IT industry, which is a significant number. If tomorrow AI/ML takes your job, I don't know, God can only help India, right? I mean, that's the reality because we are in the services, purely services. We talk of products, some products company are there. I'm sure panelists are there. And STB Deputy Director is there, he can validate these numbers where if I'm talking something wrong, so mostly services. So services is always under threat because don't forget that it is manpower, right? And the good part is that around 56% of the global outsourcing of services, which now there is a new term, new name. You would have heard of a name called GCC. Kabhi ET newspaper वगैरह में आप देखे होंगे GCC. These are new avatar of ODC. We call, Offshore Development Center. I'm sure many people would have come from those background. So we built some of the centers in the past in Bhubaneswar. Those are now known as GCC, and unfortunately, Odisha has 0 GCC. That is the sad story of the reality. So what I'm telling you that, and the employment generation, if you look at around 36%, 40% is women. That is another good part in India. I'm not talking globally, right? So there is a huge gap between the requirement of the industry which is happening globally and which is moving on in India and especially in Odisha. Because we are in BPUT, that too in Rourkela. We will talk the gap. I will request the panelists actually to focus a little bit about their company organization. We will come to that and tell what better thing can be done, right? Like how you can help the student or the community or the universities or the local, which is a part of your global sustainability. Community is one. You need to take care of the community, right? Otherwise, it will there is a saying that when each time you buy EV, like when I took one EV, right, they say it is good, right? But each time you buy EV, you are actually adding to the pollution. That is a separate area, how Congo is being affected, how cobalt mining is happening. So you can read it on your leisure time, and that's the reality, right? I'm not saying it should stop, right? So anyway, welcome everybody, and let's enjoy the panel discussion. Thank you. Hello. So we have with us Shravan Nayak. No, let me tell about you. So we always hear about big 5, big 4 consulting, right? So I'm very happy that I met another partner long back. So he happens to be a partner in Deloitte. So we can hear how consulting is really helping in India, especially the IT industry in general, and how it can help students. Maybe in Odisha a little bit you can touch. That is one, and specifically to students and BPUT, right? Thank you.
First of all, thank you, sir. And I just had lunch, a brief discussion with Manoranjan, sir, during lunch. So I'll be mindful of the time. No, I think big thank you to BPUT for inviting me here. A big thank you to BPUT for inviting me here. I understand this is the first time taking this type of initiative, so I must congratulate you. And someone who is born and brought up in Rourkela, I just feel very proud to attend this event. It was really, really amazing. This is the first time I'm coming to BPUT, and really amazing to see hear some of the wonderful work the people who have passed out from BPUT have done. Right, Young Tiger Academy, the Quantum Technology Solutions, absolutely fantastic. I'm looking forward to see how how I can help in my capacity, in coming years, so to speak, right? Very quickly, 25 years of experience in the market, Shravan. I would imagine many of here would be others are already called out about the Big Four. This is one of the largest professional services company in the world, and India as well. Close to 400,000 people doing some amazing work across the sectors, all right? And earlier in the panel one, when you are talking about, some of the, because the India growth story, Deloitte has been in the forefront of many of these initiatives, helping companies, helping governments, and drive some of those really forward-looking work, all right? Few things before I need to pass it on to just to call out. Some of the, when Honorable Prime Minister has, mentioned about a vision of India becoming a 5 trillion economy, 7 trillion economy by 2030, some of the states have come forward and they wanted to be a $1 trillion economy, right? One of those states is state of Uttar Pradesh, UP government. Deloitte is partnering with UP government to really help not just in the policy side, but also really attracting a number of companies to come to the state and invest, and thereby help UP to become a $1 trillion economy, right? Look at some of the work which has some fantastic outcomes. One of these big financing company in India, and they only finance for home loans to only the lower middle class segment. So imagine a lower middle class segment, buying a house is really a dream, right? And then we associated with them to help the company really how they can expedite what they really, the entire loan approval process. So what it used to take from 12 days, we brought it down to literally 3 days. So when you associate with Deloitte, this is for the larger students, you get to work and experience some of these type of, really purposeful and impactful work, so to speak.
So what is the income level you are telling, like any threshold income for the lower middle class? That's a very broad term. So if you can give some figure, maybe we can think of, because Orissa is definitely not a very high income group. I think majority is, I don't know what is your low income. We can think of replicate.
Yeah, I think there is a general definition of Indian government in terms of the lower middle income. I don't have the exact number in mind, maybe below, let's say, 12 lakh and annual income, so to speak. But the point here was, for somebody who is looking to buy a house, and that person is looking forward to get a loan approval quickly to go to the, how do then you bring technology to help the company make that loan decisioning faster? And that technology actually comes, what Deloitte type of professional services sort of does that faster, right? So that's what.
Okay, I think it makes sense. We will now, discuss something, hear something from Mr. Prasad Kvsn, co-founder, CEO. He happens to have, I was just talking to him, he says, I am in a multiple company. So if you can give your list of companies and things like that, it will be a big, exposure to the students, to other people here also. And maybe some couple of few tips if you can provide, how can they build and help their career, maybe, or their organization, or somebody wants to build a company. So you can throw some light. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a honor to me to address this esteemed guests, faculty, and fellow panelists and students. Actually, the conclave of industry, academia, which is happening, is required, and it is a most and continuous efforts which has to happen, right? Now, to understand what exactly is between industry and academia, Academia itself, education market itself, more than $117 billion market. If I convert it into Indian currency, it is more than 10 lakh crore rupees, which is going to be 3 times, estimated to 3 times by 2030, which we are looking at top 3 economy in the world. By 2047, we'll certainly will reach top 2, I'm not saying 1 or 2, whatever it is, we'll certainly will reach the way we are growing. But we need to understand, are we ready to go to that particular place? First of all, we need to understand, are our students are ready, because they are going to take it forward. Industry require a lot of manpower. I'm not talking about IT, I'm talking about any industry for that matter. Right. Are they ready? When we say small technological words, BRD, FRD, RSLDC, all these things also students say that, "Arey, kya jarurat hai?" And I generally see these project works, project reports, they manage it. Why do you want to manage it? There is huge opportunity. Industry is looking for students like you. Faculty, industry wants to depend on faculty. Industry wants to depend on academia. Now it is your turn, how you respond. Why don't you take real-time projects? How many of you have visited Slush? It happens every year in Finland. How many of you have visited, I'm just asking students or faculty or whoever it is, visited Singapore for Switch? Likewise, lot of events are happening, which I suggest everyone should go and visit once. Then things will change. Then you will understand, your understanding and your approach, everything will change. A phenomenal change you will find within yourself. I'm saying, you have, especially in this particular area, we have huge, a lot of industrial, it is an industrial belt. Now, how many of us went to those industries asking for what is their problem statement? We do a lot of hackathons, we do a lot of those kind of things just for a certificate, just for something like that. And really, did we went to them and find out and gave solution and kind of thing? That is what is required at this moment. I'm not talking about something great innovations are required. Small, simple innovations, simple things, a solution is enough for the industry. We are limited to one thing. Big companies should come to our institute for the campus placement. Why? We don't want, we should take that out of our mind. Each student can, or a group of students grow to that level where industry comes to them and say that we want you. Before coming out of the college, you should have done something. You should have exposed. I'm telling industry wanted. Industry, whatever, if they want 100 people, they only are getting 20 to 30%. That's it. Remaining 70% they are managing. Now, if we continue this way, reaching to the Viksit Bharat, or reaching to the 5th position or 3rd position or 1st position, whatever it is, as a country, it is difficult. And I'm saying Orissa has got huge opportunity. Maybe people say that backward and other things. Huge opportunity, and the kind of mineral resources what we have, no one else. People go to other states and they work well, they do well. What I say is, we can do it here itself. I mean, now it has become, staying at our village, we are connected to the globe. Making possibilities, understanding the possibilities, we can certainly do a much better thing. I mean, we need to, what I say is, it is a responsibility of everyone. I'm not saying that academia, I'm saying industry, I'm saying government, everyone. But that coordination, that collaboration is very important. If we do that, if I say, or if I greet you in a better way, certainly you will respond, right? Whoever it is. The same way it happens. It's a simple logic. Everyone needs it. And why should we go to America or somewhere else when we are growing here in India? Entire country. How many of you have gone to other countries in recent past? Then you would have understood. Things have changed. Earlier, 10 years back, when we used to go to any other country, we are just like any other person. Now things have changed. Are you from India? Okay. So everything, the treatment, everything has changed. When you visit to any of the events or any kind of thing, everything has changed. Now, it is our responsibility to take advantage, nothing else. I'm saying practically we should take advantage. Advantage doesn't mean that something in a negative sense, but I'm saying positive sense, take that pattern to take it forward. So, when it comes to our company, I'm here with, I'll give you a couple of seconds. I'm here with around 4 decades of experience, out of which around 25 years is with corporate, and for the last 14 years I'm with startup ecosystem. Worked with more than 300 startups, mentored, and I was the person who, you would have seen Padman movie, right? Akshay Kumar's. I was the business consultant for Arunachal Muruganantham. I have developed his entire business modeling and could get 220 crores of funding and all other things. That's one example. I'm saying a lot of other things are there. But what I'm saying is, apart from that, small innovations, small problem solving things made their businesses grow. Getting money is not a criteria. When you want to start your own startup, money is not the criteria. Sorry for that. Only thing that your idea should solve a problem. That's it. Maybe my idea is great, but it is not solving any problem, anybody's problem, then it will not work in the market. It might not. I'm not saying no, but it might not. And we should focus on the products. Now product-based companies like Joho and other things, they are doing extremely well. A lot of product-based companies are started doing very well in India. And we are advancing in digital technologies. Are we ready, or are we, I'm very sure. What I'm saying is, our academic curriculum or kind of things might not be equivalent the way industry is growing. We are lagged behind that particular thing to catch up that particular thing. But at the same time, we can collaborate with the industry, saying that what all the things you need, we will teach our students. Come join hands with us and let us teach and let us take it to them. And we don't know, I don't know how far it is important and useful when we study how many trees Ashoka has planted. But still, we are studying, right? But at the same time, if we develop some courses, that could be long-term, not a short-term kind of thing.
One second. I think any specific course you would like to recommend, because you have a lot of faculties and senior dignitaries are there. Maybe you can suggest some line of course which can be incorporated maybe in the final semester or second, third semester. That will be, I think, nice.
Fantastic. What I suggest is, let us not fix a particular course. understand what is required to the industry. That is what more important. That is what I said. Why startups fail? Startups fail because, not because they don't have a good product. They fail because that is not useful to that particular target audience. They are not solving any burning problem. Otherwise, product is good. I'm not saying product is bad. So, even now also we need to understand the same thing, nothing else. Until unless we, the other day I was discussing with a couple of automobile industry personalities. I'm taking a couple of minutes, but it is very important. Okay, so they said we need people, but the problem is they are not getting people because whoever are, that could be electrical or automobile engineers who are passing out of that college, then they doesn't understand what is actually required to a factory or to a manufacturing industry. So, what I suggest is rather, let us discuss with the industry, then we will understand.
Fine, we'll again come back to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mr. Prasad. Now, I think, let me introduce Raj. He's Mr. Raj Sahu, who is supposed to be the founder and owner of CNET Consultancy Services Private Limited, Rourkela. And he's an old friend of mine. I know him for a long time. I think he's as old as Rourkela IT industry, if I'm not wrong. He's there from the day one, the STPA is born here. Many people will be knowing him. So we would like to hear from Raj that what is happening around Rourkela and how Rourkela IT services sector is evolving. Any specific area, like I remember he was suggesting last time in Rourkela Chamber of Commerce to start a testing area, which is actually a good area. And in fact, I suggested that to the guy whom you suggest that why don't you do it. But the problem is that once they go from here to Bangalore or Hyderabad, then the thing also vanishes with the flight, right? So we need to remind them and we need to be after that. But you can discuss that, that's a wonderful area, I'm sincerely telling you. So I now hand over to Raj, listen from him. Thanks.
Thank you, Manoranjan. As Rourkela is concerned, like every, it's a tier 3 city. The problem with tier 3 city are almost different. And different companies have a problem with the as far as Rourkela is concerned, the people, very few IT companies are there. And the ones this company, after 6 months or 7 months, they always try to the bigger companies in the bigger cities. So the environment for IT is not developed in Rourkela, I can say, very point blank. And the specific region, maybe that type of not facility are there in Rourkela. Maybe club facility, you can say, the pubs and bars, whatever the IT young guys require, that is not available right now. That is one. Another things, what I felt out in Rourkela is about the student and other people who are from Rourkela or maybe for the BFUT, other engineering colleges. When the company comes for the recruitment and all, they generally test aptitude, attitude, and probably the technical, basic technical things. I think all big companies are there. After that, when they go to that big company, they get trained in the core subject, at least for 6 months, or maybe some 1 year, then they put into the jobs. I think if BPUT can help them out once for this BPUT related engineering colleges or the universities, colleges who are there here nearby, once the recruitment is over, if the company requirement is very specific for a particular product related to IT, I am telling, suppose they want something of the high-end modules, data science, or maybe in hardcore Java technology or any technology, if they can give it last 6 months of training directly to the colleges itself, I think the student of that training time in the companies can reduce. Another things what I find out is, Like recently, last year I was there in U.S., working there in the US consulate. He has done his architect in, bachelor in architect from India, then masters in UK. When he was doing the masters in UK, the whole of the London city they have surveyed for. I don't think maybe Rourkela become a smart city. We are telling smart city, but nearby, NIT is also architect branch, and Biput, I think, I don't know whether any of the colleges are having or not. None of the colleges I have never found, I have attached to the municipality also, never they've been approached for any project in smart city. I think these are the things, if the colleges or Biput can initiate it to take the student and guide the industry people directly to them, and the we taught in the end semester, it could be enough. This is what I can say. And Rourkela is a small place. I think STP is coming with another very big buildings, and side by again government of Odisha is promoting one more, coming with another IT building of 180 crores. Maybe in futures, if government of Odisha and Biput can take initiative to bring some of the big companies to Rourkela and create an environment, then only probably maybe we can think of the next 5 years, the IT hub can create it in Rourkela. This is what I can say.
Yeah, I think I fully, hello?
Hello?
Is it audible? Yeah, I agree with you. But the same example is sitting next to you. He is also from Rourkela. So he migrated, I mean, don't take it personally. So because he will not get a scope like Deloitte. But what I'm telling you, BPUT and, agrees, and let's say we think of a hypothetical situation where we run a professional testing course, automated testing, that I'm sure the kind of person we have, the Vice Chancellor here, is so aggressive that once you agree, I'm not committing that we'll get AIML or enabled, testing, which is happening now. But we can at least go for automated testing training and all. And with Raj-like person who, I think I know him, he would have trained, if not a lakh, at least 2 lakh of people.
Yeah, more than that, more than lakh student I have trained.
Yeah.
Hello? And so my student, they are all big MNCs, you can name any MNCs. Like whenever I go to any country, in 5-6 students are there available in the airport to receive me. That is there.
So I'm telling you, I know him for a long time. He has been doing training, and probably BPUT, maybe the, when we say BPUT, it is, it's an organization. It's, sometimes it gets person-driven also, right? So with the person who is there at the, helm of the affair, who's very aggressive, trying to do something at Rourkela, and you're going by your trend, already the Rourkela person is sitting as a partner. And I know Deloitte size. I'm not going into what size Hyderabad is having, because I asked once that why don't you do it? So he had a simple logic to give me that, look Manoranjan, if I set up tomorrow Hyderabad, instead of that a Bhubaneswar center, will you get 20,000 people? The answer was no, right? He's talking of jobbable 20,000. I mean, recruitment thing which Mr. Prasad was telling, 30%. So if you have 50,000 people coming out, 15,000 is not jobbable, right? So what I'm telling you, you cannot blame only the students or the faculties, right? There is an ecosystem to be that, right? So Hyderabad, I started my career in Hyderabad. Hyderabad was not built overnight, neither in Bangalore. I lived there for 15 years. I've seen Bangalore when only small airport was there and 2-3 chota IT company, Infosys and BTN. We are not going to those details. What I'm telling you that if BPUT agrees today, and let's say we automate the process of testing, because that's the entry level of, we are talking of service industry. We are not getting into a product or AML or, the chip area at all. With somewhere to start. So I'm sure the kind of exposure, and the best part is that he has trained people all from rural background, tribals. Nothing to hide, and that's a wonderful achievement he has done. And all those people are talking, they're all from rural background who are there at the airport. He's telling 4-5 ticket, reduce it by 50%. Even if 2 people are there at any airport, that's a significant milestone. So what I'm telling you, with such kind of thing, if you say that fine, I'm not saying say yes right now. That will be a wonderful statement. But if you can think it over and talk to Vice Chancellor and give a some kind of this thing, I'm sure we will get 2 Raj or 1 Raj is enough. That will figure it out. 38, 40 colleges are there. We'll get some 500 students, 5,000, 2,000, 1,000, whatever numbers. And they'll be exclusively trained in that particular automated testing area with certified as Deloitte. Fine, I'm not getting into salary, because from my experience, what I've seen is that even if you pay less slightly, because the people have a tendency to stay near home. That is the, that is the reality, right? Because he is the last, I'm sorry, you can take this.
just echoing your thoughts. I mean, there is, like you said, I mean, there is some of the problems inherent that we need to solve. And the bigger guys definitely has the muscle power to really bring in that support. And today you talked about agentic, right? And I was telling probably the VC sir earlier, when Mr. Johnson, the NVIDIA CEO, when he was visiting a couple of months back, he was talking about how do NVIDIA takes their agentic AI platform and makes it a really, really enterprise scale, large scale basically, right? So they want to bring that and make it like Googles of the world, so to speak, right? So that means imagine the number of workforce when the world pivots towards an agentic or AI-driven world, right? Now the services companies like Deloitte or like Accenture or like Capgemini, they are investing to train on the agentic platform in NVIDIA thousands of their own engineers. So it's literally the industry itself is trying to learn now, and the best timing would be the academia also starts to learn together, so that, you know, then there is a higher chance for the, and same BPUT can follow some of those steps, right? So that's what I would think.
It's a fantastic, suggestion. We will definitely work it out and we'll be in touch. I'll also make sure that Raj also be in the loop or something. If it comes to the basic level, okay, we cannot talk of, your high-end AI kind of stuff training, but I'm sure it can start somewhere, if not agentic, something else. So fine, with that, I think we will go to the next Raj.
I think services and the back office job can be very well done in Rourkela. For that, the people thinks don't want to move out of Rourkela, they can stay back and they can do it.
No, from my experience, I'm
company like the homegrown company like CSM and Aluminous who are there in Bhubaneswar, I have continuously talking with them. I have already interacted with them, so at least when new setup will come, probably if they can start up their own wings or something like that, then it could be good enough.
Thank you, Raj. I think we will have another Raj, so there are many Raj here. His name, industry is also Raj, name is Raj, they're sitting next to each other. I also know him for a long time, because a wrong place, right industry, or whatever it is. So we spend a lot of time. I think he is into IT and IT services with huge amount of exposure, with good product development and all. He can throw some limelight. He can also help, how the curriculum or the student can shape or rebuild or reshape their career instead of only, thinking in one area. Thanks. You can start.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mahapatra, for throwing this question to me. First and foremost, the entire student fraternity of this developing country like India have to come out from a mindset where they believe that the unemployment is increasing because of this government failure. My dear friends, this is absolutely, let's understand by an example. Well, how many of you is having a smartphone with you in this hall? It is probably 99.9 or probably 100% of it. Well, the next question will be, how many of you will be having a Samsung mobile? Quite few. Third question will be, how many of you is a Nokia mobile? It is 1% or less than that. Looking back to 90s, where we thought toothpaste is Colgate and mobile is Nokia. Yeah? What went wrong with Nokia from 70% market stake to less than 1% today? And what went good with Samsung in the consistency is a leading brand of the world today? Well, you all know obviously. Well, the market trend changed about Android. Nokia said no to it and Samsung adopted. This means we'll have to change and adopt the technology. Just not adopting technology, but the right time. Because Nokia has adopted Android, but this is not the right time. Samsung has played the game. Well, moving back to the question being asked by Mr. Mahapatra on ability, what I believe, about accessibility, it is just not about for the disabled people or how tech can evolve on accessibility. It is not just for the person with disability. I believe it is for all. Let's again understand this by an example. Imagine you have a trolley bag, heavy trolley bag, and there is no accessibility track. You have to hold that bag and keep into that hole, right? And using this accessibility track, you can easily drag this to inside. Isn't it accessibility? Understand with one more example. Imagine you have an old parent and in a wheelchair, they're able to operate their TV, making phone calls, or switch on to the AC. Is it also accessibility? We often think, accessibility is a small corner in the world. My dear friends, for information, we have 1.5 billion people in the world who are disabled. If you speak about India, every day, there are 26 millions of people, those who face challenges in terms of communicating each other or traveling to any public places. It is a concern. It is a concern. Well, a few days back, we had a BPUT hackathon. I must thank to BCSA for organizing hackathon and industry conclave, which will obviously will have a huge outcome in future. We have developed many products and prototypes in the last hackathon. Just imagine a student like you who is visually impaired reading his textbook just by the smartphone. Imagine a student who is physically challenged but able to roam this beautiful BPUT campus using the smart wheelchair and coming to this hall, navigating this conference hall and opening the door using IoT enabled device or IoT enabled door. My dear friends, this is not a dream, this is the reality that is happening. With this hackathon, we have developed some prototype where a visually impaired person can visualize this hall. They can visualize there is a flowers decorated in the stage of yellow and white combination. He or she can visualize there is around 300 to 400 students in the hall. There are panels are sitting, he can visualize this. If the second product I can speak about, a deaf and dumb person can speak to a normal human using sign to speak technology, which is a AI enabled model. This can operate as a medium between this deaf and dumb and the normal human. We have done this innovation thanks to BPUT for organizing this hackathon. We got a lot of invention. Well, before I conclude, I would like to state something to the future generation, or I call it the future of India or the future of nation. My dear friends, for next 6 months, be silent. Rather be disappear. Everything. On social media, being party, disappear from everything. Focus on the technology, which you want to do expertise. Learn. Do research for 6 months. Come back. Utilize those resources which you have done last 6 months. Do apply a job or do any innovation, do start off anything. You will succeed. वो बोलते हैं ना, शेर जब 2 कदम पीछे चले जाता है, ना है शो के झपकने के लिए, right? Be like a lion.
Yeah.
And we bounce back. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think it was really good. And let me tell you, he was there in the hackathon. I was there. I think we are thankful, and they have seen some of the good problem statement being solved. And they have already, recruited some of the people as their trainee who were involved in their process. Thanks a lot. I think we'll look forward to such accessibility. It's a really a good track to take it forward. I myself will start mentoring, if not one, at least 2 a month. We'll see that how they will go. Because of a lot of other factors, it's a kind of giving back to your SDG again. You take the community, society. So sustainability is a very broad area. But anyway, we'll go to the next. Thank you, Raj. We have, you want to add something?
Well, this is just not giving back to the society or transforming someone's life.
Yes,
Even you can do $1 billion business out of it on accessibility. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
I agree with you. I think we have the next panel member. I think we don't have SpaceX here, but we have a much stronger guy who's a local guy. I think he's built his own company called Aerospace, Kristellar. How do you pronounce Kristellar?
Kristellar Aerospace.
Kristellar Aerospace.
Yes.
Uday one das.
Yes.
Right?
So basically, the Krishna and Interstellar, we combine it and we made it Kristellar. So, sir, I'll answer all your questions based on this, and I have no story to tell you. What I have is experience. So, Kristellar is probably the only company, or we have envisaged a company in a way. We only hire freshers. I don't have anybody experienced person in my companies. So, all the people who are working in Kristellar, all are freshers. I am 42, and the people who are working with me, they all are less than half of the age, less than 24. We picked up them from colleges. We spent 6 months training them on various technologies. And as I mentioned, our company is into aerospace. So space is very complex, the domain is complex, technology is complex. So everybody suggests when we conceptualize this company in 2021, it's a 3+ year young company. I'll not say startup because I hate that word startup. So I'll say it's a young company, 3 years old. So the idea was to have young mind, how to utilize, because I need to develop product very fast. To develop product very fast, you need energetic mind. And that can be possible in the age of 23, 24, 25. And it's a very risky zone. Nobody take the risk in this zone because they felt like, this is the age where they should go into training. They cannot think of something new. They cannot develop. But I believe everybody suggests me you will burn your finger, you will lose your reputation. Sorry, it's not. So if you go with phrases, but I said no, I'll go with my feeling and I'll set up this entire infrastructure in a young mind. So the first thing comes to my mind is that there are 24 hours in our life. For the students, they come to college for 8 hours, probably little bit more, little bit less, but 8 hours is the standard time they spend in the college. 16 hours they spend at house. So normally, the government also can't run in minority. So you cannot develop a product when you have 8 hours in your hand. And you cannot develop a person, or you cannot develop a skill just having 8 hours and productive 2 hours in the college. So idea was that how to utilize the 16 hours which is left over with them, and how to gain the majority shares, and how to utilize the majority shares to create the product. That was the strength we have built past 3 years. And our company is profitable day one itself. We have majority of revenues coming out of international market, being a aerospace company. We serve almost 3-4 Indian defense manufacturer today, but we have not received any investment and fund from any of those companies. We request them to give us the opportunity, and we have young mind to develop product and generate revenues, because we don't believe on the concept of startup means that generate funds from XYG, Series A, Series B, Series C. So startup means utilize your brain so that people comes to you and they give you everything what you want. That's the philosophy of our company. And for the young generation, for this kind of conflict, my simple thought process is that, which I'm privileged to have a one-to-one discussion with VC sir. I have shared my ideas that we will help university to create infrastructure where all the affiliated colleges will be directly connected with the college to access the high performance computing, to develop their mind so that they can utilize their 16 hours what they spend at home directly connected to this infrastructure, developing lot of product in AI, ML and so forth and so on, whatever area to their interest, be it biotechnology or nanotechnologies. We as a technology company committed to support the university, developing that infrastructure so that it can accessible to all the students, wherever, whichever college they belongs to access the infrastructure, utilize the development platform, develop various products, and grow their 16 hours, utilize their 16 hours to develop the mind. Because see, like the government is doing enough today. If I talk about the central government or the state government, they're doing enough to generate lot of skills, to provide lot of program in the skill development sectors. In fact, the university is providing lot of platform for the student to come forward, develop their skills. But the only problem is the 16 hours and 8-hour ratio. We cannot develop, we cannot be a Biksit Bharat with minority stake from the student 8 hours. We have to capitalize the 16 hours. We have to create infrastructure so that we can utilize the 16 hours of the students. I'm not saying entire 16 hours, but the majority part of that, their life, so that we develop the mind. Because once the mind is developed, you put AI, you put ML, you put anything, everything works. The biggest problem is the mind. And you know, I slightly disagree with people like when they say like social media, disassociation from social media, because it's a digital world. You cannot disassociate from all these medias, but we should know the discipline. And discipline only comes when you know how to utilize the majority part of our life. And again, my last statement is, let's have the majority to win the race, not the minority.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just want one clarification. I think the kind of involvement or engagement you're talking with BPUT or the students, this will be in specific to the airspace vertical or in general?
No, I said like, you know, there are two domains which is growing very fast. You know, people are coming up with automated cars, and you know, people talk about Elon Musk and big peoples. So it's not a great science which cannot be developed here, or we cannot do it. So my first proposal was to have a software defined vehicle, which is software, development, and automated, like say anything and everything which is you want to automate. So it's a very generic one.
I got it. I think it's a wonderful idea.
And
So
second
we'll
is that having that high performance computing infrastructure available to the student or the remote college, maybe the college which is there far away from the universities, in a village areas, they can have access and they can develop lot of programs, simulate the programs in high performance computing environments remotely. Like now, like, you know, if you have the infrastructure here, all the way students have to come and do it here. But idea was to send it back to them wherever they are. They should utilize the 16 hours of their life, or the personal life, to develop their mind.
Yeah, perfect. I think the high-speed computing lab you're talking, let me tell you, it's not fully functional yet, but BPUT is
No,
already
it was
started.
Sir's vision.
Yeah,
I
he's
really
started.
appreciate, and it was like it was a dream comes true for me when I heard from him. And being a visionary, we are thankful to him to having that vision for all the affiliated college. And once the infrastructure is in place, I truly believe that we can really capitalize that majority part of the student brain for skill development.
Yeah, I think with this, I think we will now move it to, I mean, it's connected to high-speed computing lab. So the guy who is sitting next to you, the gentleman, STP Additional Deputy Director, Mr. Jagannath, he will explain us the concept of collaboration with BPUT and government, you know, regulation, regulatory, in general, what is happening and what support can be extended to the other, you know, colleges, maybe the students, what they should do. So I'll just hand over to him.
Yeah, thank you very much. And good afternoon to all of you. I would like to extend my thanks to VC sir, and definitely Mr. Mahapatra for organizing all this beautiful event, and the distinguished panelists. So being a government organization, STPI, I would like to tell something about STPI, that we are having 65 centers across India, and 57 centers in tier 2, tier 3 cities. So why I'm saying all this, that about the tier 2, tier 3 cities, is that the government have very clear approach that the students or any entrepreneur who really want to work on ITS field can work from anywhere, like any cities like Rourkela or from Sambalpur or Jajpur, I can say, if it is concerned about Orissa. And yes, these days we are talking about startups. Okay. So government of India is very much active. They are proactive, I can say, to develop an ecosystem for startups. And recently we have, on 16th of January, we have this National Startups Day, where we can see that more than 100 plus unicorns have been already created for last 9 years, and 1.5 lakhs startups have been registered, and over 17 lakhs job has been created. So definitely I would like to tell the students of BPUT that sky is the limit. You should think beyond whatever the regular things, and think out of the box, come forward, and STPI is there to provide you all the basic facilities, infrastructure, whatever you need to start your own venture. Because in Rourkela, I can say that we are coming with the 40,000 square feet new building, where all the facilities you will get. Apart from that, you will get the mentorship, you will get the networking, you will get a platform to show your product or service. So this is the wonderful things which is coming up, and BPUT is such a reputed institute, university, where the students from all over Odisha, from other state also, they have come to study over here. So you people must think to give job in spite of getting a job. And being a government organization, whatever the help is required, you just come to STPI. We are always there to mentor you, help you, and guide you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Jagannath. I think they have always been supportive, and they have signed an MOU with BPUT, I believe, right? I mean, you have a Center of Excellence or something?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell that?
Thank you. Yeah. One more thing I would like to add, that STPI, they have over 24 number of COEs all over India, and one COE, that is MTech, that is Emerging Technology in Industry 4.0, which is our satellite center in BPUT campus, and which is going to open. We are going to launch it very soon. So the students from BPUT, you just make your mindset to work over there, because we are coming with world-class lab facilities, mentorship, all the facilities you can get over here. So I again urge you all to come up and think to do something your own, and you will get all the support from STPI.
Thank you. Thank you, Jagannath. I will request Mr. Bibhudatta Sahoo, Professor Bibhudatta Sahoo from NIT Rourkela. I think one of the oldest premium institute of Western Orissa and Rourkela. A lot of alumni all over the world. In fact, I personally was involved with few of the startups, so I know what is the capacity of NIT Rourkela. Let's listen from him.
Thank you, sir. First, I thanks University, Vice Chancellor and his team to arrange such a beautiful conclave. Yes, I can say I am in the institute, which is of national report, but this never happens there. A true confession. Second thing, in my capacity, I serve as the Board of Studies member of very leading NRF rank institute. Let me tell the industry people, always there is a 50-50 share on Board of Studies. 2 people from industry, 2 people from academia. And sometimes we converge so nicely. There is some discussion on technology, and industry people advise us. We simply request, sir, can you design a course? Because that is beyond my capacity. And someone is from Amazon, he is discussing, he is suggesting, we should teach e-commerce, not the traditional e-commerce 20 years. He tried to explain the money flow in Amazon, how it is happens. So we request him, please suggest. It was with, I can say, in BIT, Bhopal. So many board of studies I have attended, not in government sector, all are in private university. 50-50 partnership. Representation in board of study, their actually interaction start, there itself they suggest. You won't believe I met a person when we talk of the HPC and others, data science. He says, is it feasible to teach? Then there is some software people have added to the course. How can you teach this software? It crores of rupees. Only industry has got that license, which is small foundation, finally saves the course of study. And next thing, if you look into the NEP, we have courses where industry people can teach. 1 credit course. It is already adopted. So it's up to the institute how he is connecting to the industry experts. They can teach online from their place. And maybe one faculty will be trained on that, will be served as a backup. Time is flexible. You select your own time to teach the students. Maybe some exam has to be conducted in academia, then faculty will conduct the exam. It is there in NEP 1 credit, 2 credit course. Let me talk about technology. First thing, when technology hits, anything happens. I think it comes to the academia maybe 5 years later, maybe more than that. The noise or the changes only people. And now, whenever we finalize a course of study, maybe many of you may know, there is a Gartner hypercycle. If you Google it to find that Gartner hypercycle on AI, 2021 to 24, 25 you cannot get. The hypercycle is a graph where we are finding yellow triangles, blue triangles, white dots, which says which technology is going to sustain for how many days. So academia should not introduce a paper that life is 2 years or 3 years. This is the graph like this. We must introduce the point. It is a cyber physical system, a yellow color triangle, so I don't have any choice. I have to incorporate. If I am in late, my product will not be absorbed by the industry. And next, one thing I observe, now many companies are coming for the internship. People are really crazy about the internship. Going there, some people are trained, they got the permanent commission there, but many people have sent back. Maybe industry people will be able to observe so many things which we could not give them. But my personal experience, maybe there is no mechanism. Department who designed the curricula should have a very hard word from the industry. Sir, this thing you have taught, very hard word. I met one company who was coming to the campus. My simple question was, sir, what is lacking on my student? Maybe my placement officer is not no courage to ask. I'll tell you what compliment he told me. I'm very open person. I say, sir, please tell me what lacking on my student. Give me 6 months. I have slow, flexible course structure. I can add that, I can change that. Discussion going on, he told me, but last compliment, sir, if you will come, our people will not get placed. So they try to push the people who are not skilled to an industry by doing so many negotiations with the HR, and finally what happens? The product is rejected. So if you are looking into updating the course curriculum, let me tell you, in IT industry, the global curriculum comes from the IEEE and SEM. You just Google to find it, IEEE SEM curricula. Whole world leaders sit, they design a course of study. And that is the course of study which is to be followed. Whether it is IT, whether it software engineering, whether it is computer science, whether it is computer engineering, you will be finding why they are changing in every 4 years. Why not we are adopting that course of study? And you will be finding where the technology changes. Gartner also from the US, they try to map. If you'll see, computer vision was the challenge in before the 20s. Now what is the thrust area? It is already there. Next, people are talking of heavy machine and the resources. Let me talk about quantum computing. Government of India has 600 crore allocation for that. And we have a hardware security. Government is again trying to push a lot of money to that to develop the skills. But challenge is that who will train them quantum computing? And solution is very easy. You just visit any of the CSP. They are opened up their platform. Freely available. And it is the industry, if you will send a message, if you are coming with this subject, yes, I am ready to adopt. I say, I can confirm if you say, sir, this paper, if you will include and it covers this, I am assuring you, it takes me only delta second to adapt to my curricula. So such type of curriculum should be designed. Few flexible paper must be given to the department. And if, let us say, civil engineering gets a feedback, yes, basic fundamental engineering is completed. This is the changes happens, and there is a huge gap. What sir says, Prasad sir says, they do not know a terminology. I met few senior people, they are visiting. They say, why will select? They are very cool. They say, we'll stay 2 days, 3 days for power plant recruitment. We try to mix up with the students. Bole nahi sir. Kuch pata nahi. And in the name of the industrial internship, people are not serious. Maybe that is some reasons to be addressed. But industry should recommend a paper very loudly. This is the paper. Let us see how many academic institutes come up. Whoever come up and stand by that, they will be winner. Because this generation wants a roadmap. If you say you will get a job in this company, read this, they will read it. And that is the reason many people, they completed a graduation and do not have any basic skill to fit. Next, I am sharing one of my experience. I was there in a board of studies. In the first year, they are introducing a paper called Computer Workshop. You must be wondering what they are teaching. Very simple skills. You know little bit of Excel. You know little bit of Power BI. You know little bit of what is a machine. And in particular computer science, if you ask a person, are you not capable of replacing a battery on your machine? Answer is no. No, I know C programming, I did online courses. But that is the platform online which is designed maybe due to the pandemic. It's good. But they don't have any knowledge whether that knowledge is accepted by the industry. That's the gap. And those people never interact. You can look into very popular, those online courses. So not a single company endorses that. Let us call the company people, are you going to endorse the course of these online courses? Let us say Gigs for Gigs, Coursera or NPTEL. Yes. So people can do that. Just a message has to reach with the student community. Then my submission will be, we must design a course of study. And first I start with a point, there should be a 50-50 presence in board of studies. And sorry to say, in my institute also that provision is not there.
I think what you're
Thank you, sir.
suggesting, yeah, thanks a lot. What you were suggesting, people will definitely think it over. So good exposure. Sometimes we need to, go by reality. So what Professor Sahu was talking is the hard reality of the industry. It's like chicken egg, but he was suggesting that ultimately somewhere the chicken has to come, right? Correct, if I'm not wrong. But that's the reality. And now I think the last panelist was there is Priyadarshi Mahanti, who himself runs a company, correct? Future Consultancy. Yeah, it is his own company, I know. So, but I think you are involved with SAP, right? So let's hear from you the enterprise portion of the discussion. I think we all are different. So enterprise is definitely a new area you can talk about.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon and namaskar to everybody. Good afternoon and namaskar to everybody. As I've been listening from all eminent panelists, there is underlying problem that we are not getting trained and skilled employable manpower. And there is a perception in the mind of the students that no, there is there is job shortage, there is scarcity, we are not getting enough jobs. So coming back from having 25 years, same problem while and we are also engaged in all other ancillary softwares to help the corporate grow. So in the gamut of software solutions we provide mainly to the corporate industries. As on date, now the industries are growing vertically as well as horizontally. Geographical expansion is also happening. There is absolutely a dearth of skilled and employable manpower. So after the students, they complete their basic education, we from FCS, we have a training division. Apart from the consulting and industry servicing division, we have a training division, and till now we have trained more than say 6,500 people, and all of them are placed in the industry. 100% people have been placed. Now what we do is we bridge the gap, because we have a good pool of people who have worked in the corporate sector, who are working in the corporate sector, who are doing the consulting with experience of spanning more than 20 years, 25 years, like that. And they also provide the training to the new people who are coming up. So whenever people or the students, they attend an interview or they get into the industry, they are job ready from the day one. We train them both in the domain area, that is the business processes, and as well as how to utilize SAP to maximize the gain out of the software and to achieve the organizational objectives. So basically we are a company, we are based out of Bhubaneswar. Since last 15 years we have been working in this SAP domain, and we will encourage the Bibhudatta authorities and the students to take up this particular SAP as a career path, because SAP actually provides the career paths and career opportunities to both technical and non-technical persons. Somebody wants to build a career in finance, HR, purchase, sales, CRM, supply chain management. They have a very good and very prominent career paths across the globe. Similarly, the person who are interested in coding, the person who are interested in say database, they have a beautiful path lies in the way of SAP. So both technically inclined students and functionally or domain-oriented, business process-oriented students, both of them can climb the ladders through SAP. So this is what I am offering here to because we are working as a bridge between the industry to provide them ready manpower and good career opportunity for the students. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Patnaik. I think what I could understand is that is basically training, providing training for SAP enterprise area. So my only thing is that you have both the functional and the other consultants certified by SAP or SAP or SAP Lab or what?
We are partner of SAP.
No, I am not asking that. I know you have written partner. Yeah. What I'm saying, those consultants, because you cannot, I know you have worked in a organization for a long time. You have been certified, you have been exposed. So what I understand is that SAP has different verticals, right? So you have functional verticals, you have ABAP trainings and all that. So yes. My question was that the trainer who are there, right? Yeah. What is their exposure? What is their certification?
All of our trainers are SAP certified and are having more than 10 to 15 years of
fantastic. So that is what I was asking, because even if we try to find out students who are interested, I'm sure it must be a paid course, right?
Yes.
And it will be reasonably priced, because Biput is a government organization. So when you talk of such kind of course, we need to figure out that. But I think it's a very good proposition. People who are interested in enterprise or any kind of non-technical functional area, such as finance, HR, marketing, sales or distribution, something like that, if I remember correctly, all those modules will be there. So I think it will be a fantastic this thing. Yeah, please, sir. Can you pass the mic to there? Hello, anybody's there?
is governing more than 153 institutions of the region. How you played as a leader, because the theme is IT and IT services. And institutions today are playing a important role, but unfortunately, many of the institutions are in bad shape in plagiarism, piracy, copyright violation. Many professors caught in plagiarism went to jail, even Vice Chancellor lost the job. This is one of the biggest challenge, and you know, Professor Sahu. And how you as a leader to mitigate such challenge, and at the same time because Guru Dronacharya given Shastra to all Pandava and Kaurava, but Arjuna got it. And the learning was from back. किसी को सिखा देना है तो पीछे से सिखा रहे थे, but हम आगे से अभी सिखा रहे हैं. Am I right? So how these faculties, particular professor, plays a very important role, giving a knowledge and transformation and skill to the people at the last bench. So I have faced same thing in my own academics. But at the end of the day, when our parents come out with a challenge कि भाई मैं तो रिटायर्ड कर गया, शादीशुदा कर लो, रोजी रोटी कमाना है, उस टाइम हमको पता चलता है कि दो रोटी कमाना कैसे है, क्योंकि हर किस हम इंस्टीट्यूशन में करते हैं. So how you played an important role to mitigate the challenge of the knowledge, that knowledge we are creating in academia, how we manage that knowledge and monetize the knowledge, because we are in a knowledge economy and you are the knowledge leader in the knowledge economy. I think any of the panel speaker can respond to the people from this side, so that we can mitigate the challenge of academia industry meet. And this is one of the biggest challenge in India today, and biggest challenge for a nation bilaterally, and biggest challenge for a country at multilateral ecosystem. And India has kept priority watch list by the US Department of Commerce Special 301 provision. Thank you.
So to answer your questions is very simple. Like I'll take you a little bit 30 years back. So when, let's take example of my time. When I was in college, we studied something, we get into the industry, then we practiced it. It took almost 5 to 6 years to mature enough to understand the technology and put the technology into reality. Now the things are moving very fast. It is moving extremely fast. So there is no response time the day you passed out from a college and you experiment and then you learn and you deliver. So the only solution left now is learn by practice. While you are there in the college, you practice, you learn and you write your thesis. Don't write something out of some other research paper, some other theory, something. You should have the best of the best lab, spend time in the lab, do the practical, whatever subject you picked, be it a biotechnology, nanotechnology, AI, ML, do it hands-on, write what you are getting out of it and publish. That is the only way, and by the time you do this for 3 years, if you are doing a 3-year course, or you do 4 years, by the time you move out of college, you know exactly what the industry need and how you should fit into the industry. The only problem, like from industry point of view, we are facing is that, like, let me give a practical example. People comes to interview, and when we took the interview, when you ask like how many Linux version you know, 0. Only Windows, Microsoft. So if this is the scenario in 2024, like, you know, there's a huge gap in the understanding from industry and the academic point of view. My sincere request would be, like, for the all professors, like, I'm also a student, so whenever you are interacting with a student, just remember 2 things. They are not 6-month-old kid, they are 23, 20 years, high performance brain is there. Just utilize their brain to get into practicality, to the object-oriented than the subject-oriented activities. Only the object-oriented activities can deliver to the industry, not the subject.
I think what Mr. Das is suggesting, that's a very good suggestion. Let's try to follow whatever to maximum extent possible. I know overnightly things will not be there, but slowly we can do that. Overall, I think it was a very fantastic decision. I think rest is left to the audience and the students and the faculties, dignity guests But to me, it was a good discussion because it was carrying out various field, various kind of verticals, people from different industry, different location, different geography, including local people, whether they are here or they migrated. So there was a lot of connectivity which can connect IT to do something locally with community, which is again linked to your SDG because it talks of taking community also into space, doing something good, meaningful for the health and the betterment of the society. You want to discuss, speak something?
I think Professor Sahu is, yeah, please. Please.
To add what Mr. Raj said, we need to add dots. That's it. It's only collaboration. Earlier we used to have 1.5 grade guarantee for the skill development. Now it has increased to 6.7, 6.5 lakhs. Okay. The same way, we have a lot of opportunities which we need to understand and connect the dots. Nothing else is required. I mean, we all know that in business it is said, no profit. Low risk, low profit, and high risk, high profit. So we need to take decisions. That is the need of the hour. We need to connect dots. Gone those days where we used to say, I'm great. It is only collaborative arrangement where we can grow further. I'll give you a small example. Most of the people understand esports. How many of you play PUBG or any such esports? Saudi Arabia, last year, they organized Esports World Cup, whose prize pool is $60 million. In Indian currency, it is 500 crores. That is, I mean, that's such a huge prize pool is not even there for the cricket, which is very popular. Now, last year, Saudi government asked India, I mean, a couple of industry people to support with certain technically qualified kind of people. We could not. We could not. Now the kind of opportunity what we have in that particular esports is huge. We can launch our esports school. Pearson is working on esports. I mean, a lot of universities across the globe, they are working on esports based thing. They teach both technical, non-technical and skill based, I mean soft technology, soft.
It's actually a $1 trillion
huge
industry.
opportunity.
It's $1 trillion industry now.
Yes, yes. And future is there. If we take it, I mean, Japan has its first esports school, second not it.
Japan
we
is
can start it here.
No, my question was not related to that. My question was, you might have known, Infosys was penalized by US government, billion. Am I right? So we have an institutional mechanism in ecosystem, and India has kept a professor of practice. Am I right, Professor Sahu? And it is the decision of the University Vice Chancellor to keep professor of practice to connect the dot. And in fact, I will request Honorable Vice Chancellor, who is here fortunately, sir, the ball is on your court. I think if we can get professor of practice so that people like this can also part of your ecosystem. For that, there is no PhD. Even Sambalpur has recruited recently few professor of practice. So if IIM is going, government has given a clear, I think 2015 government of India has come out with such policy. And the biggest challenge for India today in academia is the plagiarism. Biggest problem. And it is one of the unfortunate problem for India in facing lot of difficulty in the bilateral collaboration and engagement. And we have missed many of the opportunity. I think if we see seriously, I think next year in the same industry meet, I think I will request at least professor of practice should make the difference because they have a very quantify objective to mitigate the challenge. क्योंकि हमारा घर का problem अगर थोड़ा सा solve हो जाएगा ना, बगल वाले भी देखने लगेंगे, अरे यार वहाँ तो प्रोफेसर ऑफ प्रैक्टिस तो हमारे पास क्यों। अभी मैं IIM संबलपुर की बात बता रहा हूँ, तो अभी कल हम BPUT में भी कर सकते हैं।
Yeah, I think
So,
we will
thank
try
you.
to. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sahu. I think with this, we will try to conclude this panel discussion, but kindly wait, because I think he has something to distribute, right? You will say something?
Thank you all. Thank you all. And a special thanks to BK Sahu for his interactive interaction with our panel. Thank you to all our esteemed panelists for such an engaging, insightful discussion. The perspectives shared today have truly shed a light on the transformative role of IT services in shaping business and innovation. Let's give them a big round of applause on the time, expertise, and invaluable contributions. I'd like to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to kindly join us on stage to facilitate the panel. I invite our Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, to felicitate Mr. Shravan Nayak, partner Deloitte. A big round of applause, please. I request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, to felicitate Mr. Kvsn Prasad. A big round of applause, please. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, to felicitate Mr. Raj Sahu, CNET, Rourkela. Expect a big hands from the audience, please. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate Mr. Suraj K Raj from Raj Groups. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, to felicitate Mr. Uday Bhanu, CEO and co-founder of Kristellar Aerospace Private Limited. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, to felicitate Mr. Jagannath, Additional Director, Software Technology Parks of India, Rourkela. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, to felicitate Professor Bibhudatta Sahoo, Head of Department, Computer Science and Engineering, NIT, Rourkela. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, to felicitate Mr. Priyadarshi Mahanti, co-founder and CEO of SAP. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, to felicitate the moderator, Mr. Manoranjan Mahapatra sir. Thank you, sir. I request the moderator and panelists to settle down in the audience and witness the further planned schedules for the keynote speaker, Mr. Jasbeen Singh. Moving forward, it's an honor to invite Mr. Jasdeep Singh, founder of Transport Simple and former decision scientist at Mu Sigma, to share his keynotes to the audience on stage. Sir, please.
Hello. वहाँ से नहीं ठीक है चलेगा. Hello everyone, I am Jasdeep Singh, founder and CEO of Transport Simple. It was a very last moment thing, so I don't know what particularly I have to speak. So I'll just, they told me I can talk about my journey and what we do in Transport Simple. So first of all, I am not very old, I am just 30. So don't expect very much formal and formality kind of a thing from me. About ourselves, like it is evident from this picture, we build fleet management solution from Rourkela. Everyone in Rourkela know the importance of transportation, trucks, heavy duty vehicles, cranes and all. The entire city lives on steel and everything around. We help those people manage their business better. How did the journey start? Before getting into Transport Simple, my background had been, I was, after graduating from SIM University, Chennai in 2015, I joined my Mu Sigma as a data scientist. So I was working over there in Mu Sigma for almost 2 years. Mu Sigma, we are working with the latest of the latest, back in 2015 to 17. We are working in all this AI, ML, whatever fancy words we are listening now. We used to work on that time, and we used to handle the data of few of the largest conglomerates of the world with the likes of Nike, Adidas, Tesco and all those companies. So we knew that there's a disruption which is gonna come. One of them, the panelists was saying how the AI ML is changing the world. So we knew the disruption is gonna come and we wanted to be a part of it. On top of it, I come from a business background. My family is in business for last 20 years. And that's where I wanted to join them sooner or later. So I completed 2 years in Mu Sigma, and then I joined my family business to help my dad scale to what they are doing. And our main business is into steel manufacturing, sponge manufacturing, and trucking. So I don't know why I always had keen interest towards trucking. Maybe because of my love for cars. I don't know why, but I had better interest in the trucking industry. So I was more involved into the trucking division, understand what we are doing over there. And that's where we saw one gap. We understood that, okay, this is a very big problem. This is trucking is the core of any business, any ecosystem, any state, city, country, world. Even if Elon Musk take you to Mars, the first thing you'll require will be commercial vehicle. But still, this industry do not have any digitalization. We don't see any softwares over there. We don't see anyone talking about managing it in a better way, using the data and all those things. So we saw this as a gap, and we first wanted to do something for our own business. But then ended up building something which we realized, okay, can be helpful for everyone. The core thing which we wanted to solve from day zero and what we're trying to do till now had been that if you're owning any kind of commercial vehicle, you should be proud of owning that, and it should be easy to manage your entire business, not be dependent on Excel sheets, pen and paper and all. So that's from where the journey started. Back in 2018, mid something, we had the idea. Say every entrepreneur has to go from the ups and downs, and the core requirement as an entrepreneur or any business person is to understand your problem better than anyone else. We were fortunate that we had our own business, so we knew how to start, the problem was very, we were very connected to the problem and we really know what we were trying to do. Then we circled around in other places in India, different places, and fortunately, we were able to build the software, go to market by 2020. Unfortunately, that was the time when COVID hit. And we kept on building in the Indian market. We were doing good. We had got over 200 odd customers. And then, fortunately, one thing happened. I always used to follow this practice that whenever you are going for a business meeting, this is something which is told by many people, that when you are going for a business meeting, try to stay in good hotels and work from the common areas so that you can interact with other people. Fortunately, that simple trick helped me and that changed our entire life. I was working from a random hotel in Mumbai, Ibis, Navi Mumbai. Randomly, I met one person over there. I was just working, and this guy, I had this Transport Simple logo everywhere. Everywhere you can see a Transport Simple logo, the same logo. And any idiot can also understand by this that, okay, this is something related to the commercial vehicles and trucks. It's Transport Simple. So he approached me and he said that, okay, what do you do this? What is it and what do you do? So we were just having a conversation, had no idea who he is. And he ended up being a person from Qatar, and he had vehicles in Qatar. Till that point, we only knew that, okay, Qatar is Qatar Airways. We didn't know it's a big country and they have a lot of things over there. So that's from where we got our first insight on Qatar market, and that's the time when we are charging a very low amount to Indian customers. We thought, okay, what shall happen? Let's try out something in the Middle East market. Worst case scenario will hear a no. And then from there, we went further. We had a conversation with them, and we finally converted them. And we asked them 15 times of what we were asking in Indian, not in 15, 20 times of what we were asking to Indian customers, just to hear a no or to hear how big the market can be. That's from where we got our first customer in Qatar, and we were doing good. We had a great relation, but like it said, for entrepreneurs, it's not going to be that easy that you simply do something and you always get your first thing can click. That's from where we got into the international market, but unfortunately we were not able to continue the first customer. Got a lot of learning, many things, like we're not able to go to the market, we're not able to talk to them better, we're not able to be next to them to understand better on their problem. We knew from bottom that, okay, what is the problem in Indian ecosystem, but not in the Middle East ecosystem. Few months later, when the COVID thing went out, we again went to the international market, we expanded to the other region. Right now, Transport Simple is one of the best fleet management solutions possible into the international market. Few of the biggest names you hear about the trucking industry are using Transport Simple. We are present in Qatar, UAE, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain. We have a company registered in India, US, UAE. We are backed by a few of the best names in the industry. How many of you here listen to Punjabi music? Anyone here? भाई पंजाबी म्यूजिक नहीं सुनते क्या करे बच्चे लोग, है ना? हर कोई सुनता है, right? How many of you know Sukhbir Singh? सुखबीर सिंह कौन कौन जानता है? जाओ, सौदा खरा खरा, Yeah. So he is Transport Simple's investor. So he's the first person who had put up money in Transport Simple, and he is like stakeholder in Transport Simple. He helped us expand into the international market. Apart from him, we have many more. Coke India MD is one of our investors. We have many more such people who are backing Transport Simple on what we are trying to do. Bottom line, like the journey for Transport Simple or pretty simple. We understood that, okay, if you try to solve what you really love and you have passion for, then everything is possible. The only reason we were able to reach till here with Transport Simple, the only reason we were able to do what we are trying to do is because we had a complete belief in the problem which we are trying to solve. That kept us persistent, that gave us motivation, that gave us insights. Because of it, when we were talking to the people, we knew what we were talking to, we knew what the problem is because we understand it better than them. So, if I talk as a success story, I think the first most important thing I would say is, if you're trying to start something, like someone said, it should not be Series A, Series B. I don't remember. Someone told over it should not be Series A, Series B and all. 100% true. Don't start for just raising and increasing your valuation. Valuation will go down. Companies will shut. I just talking to my dad before this meeting. Right now, we are getting more than 500 applicants for salespeople who are from EdTech industry. At a time, everyone wanted to be in EdTech industry. Now the industry is suffering so much that people are not getting jobs from the industry. So don't run just behind the valuation. Run behind the actual problem which you're trying to solve and have a determination for that, and it's not going to be an easy journey. Entrepreneurship, even I come from a really good family. We never had a financial problems and all those things. But still, the problems will always be there. It's not about the funding. Everywhere there will be different things, so you have to be persistent, and any startup cannot be an overnight success. You need a minimum of 5 to 10 years of hard work, day and night, 18 to 20 hours, daily work for 5 to 10 years, then you will see the success. So if any student is actually willing to go toward entrepreneurship, be ready to put in next 5 to 10 years of your life to that one particular problem which you want to solve. So I think that's it from my side. I was not prepared to speak anything on such, but I'll be happy if anyone has any questions for me, if anyone want to know anything extra from me. Yeah. Thank you from my side.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful words. Now, moving forward. Now, moving forward, as we planned, it's time to see a success story. I request the team to play that.
Sir, 2005 graduate from BPUT. Hello everyone, Jai Jagannath. My name is Debikar, 2005 graduate from BPUT. Almost 20 years of professional experience since I have graduated, working across organizations like Infosys, Deloitte Consulting, Amazon, and having done 3 different startups during this period. It's filled with a lot of experiences and rich learning. Right after my graduation, I started my career with Infosys, and early on had the opportunity to live and work out of UK. 2 important things that I saw there. Our technology plays a massive role in an organization and in country's growth. And I also saw the 2008 financial recession meltdown right in front of my eyes. The building from which I was working, Lehman Brothers, was completely locked out and shut forever. After that, I actually came back to India. I left my job and I started my startup focused on criminal data analytics, because I saw a lot of terrorist attacks and all that was happening, and I thought as a techie, I can play a role supporting in identifying criminal activities. Close to 7 to 8 state investigating agencies were using my product. I also played a small part doing data analytics for Mumbai attack when it happened with national investigating agencies, NIA in Delhi. But the biggest thing is the company failed. It was a huge setback and a great learning that building good product doesn't always translate into great business success. So that was a rude shock, but a great learning, and I had to join back industry, and I joined back Deloitte Consulting. But I think once you start thinking like an entrepreneur early in your life, early in your career, it has a profound impact of what it shapes for your future. So within 6 years, I got 4 promotions within Deloitte and became senior management. I spent almost a decade with Deloitte, became part of Deloitte CTO Council, worked across multiple geographies, Japan, US, UK, lived and worked with there, implementing a lot of tech solutions, and also started running workshops and publishing tech trend research of how the world is shaping in next 12 to 18 months. What kind of tools and technology is going to get adopted. I also spent some time with AWS leading digital native businesses. How organizations are being born on cloud, how are they leveraging technology to grow 10x faster than their traditional competition. During this time, I also went back to college. I did my executive program from University of California, Berkeley, Haas School of Business, focused on product innovation. And that again had a lot of learning and impact on me. I left my job again, and last 3 to 4 years, I have been building AI agents to actually do a lot of conversational skill assessment. Currently, I have built AI agents to conduct recruitment for large organization as well as learning assessment. In fact, a lot of educational institutes such as IIM Bangalore, SPGen, Birla Institute of Technology and Management use my product for their students' mock interview preparation, and we're co-collaborating with them and driving consulting exercises for them. How can they integrate more AI into conducting more assessments, preparations, so that they get better job ready, as well as enhance their knowledge while preparing for the career. So from us.
Thank you. A big round of applause, please. Moving next, it's my absolute privilege to introduce and invite Mr. Devikar on stage. He is the co-founder and CEO of HireGPT, a cutting-edge generative AI-based talent acquisition platform, to share his keynotes on stage with the audience. Sir, please.
Can we have the PPT, please? Good afternoon, everyone. I think everybody is done. Good afternoon, everyone. Awesome, fantastic. Now that you have already seen some of my introduction, I'm not going to spend time talking about me. I'll share what I have been seeing in the industry. And since we're talking about industry academia, a lot of academicians are here. I'm coming from industry, so I'll share what I'm seeing in the industry. The gap will continue to exist between industry academia. It's not filled. It's a continuous exercise. Challenges are changing. Learning will change. It's not like anybody can solve it overnight. But it's important to know what challenges are coming in next 12 to 18 months. Let's solve for that, and we'll continue to figure out how to do this better and better, right? Let's move to the next slides. Next. What is happening in the industry right now? Speed is a competitive advantage. And in last couple of years, the speed has actually become exponential. Earlier, we were hearing decades. If some of you remember, Oracle SQL, when we learn, it used to be from 90s to 2000 to 2010. Today you learn ChatGPT 6 months ago. Today you have to learn Microsoft Copilot. Tomorrow there is interactive AI coming. The speed of acceleration is not in years, it is in weeks and days, right? So what is happening, no, stay back. What is happening for companies? Why is an industry going to invest in you? They're worried about their customer. How do I get my customer? How do I make money? Nobody is here to do charity, that I came to a college, 10 students spoke to me, I'm going to hire them. No. I need customer, I need money. I'm not here for charity. I'm worried about my competition. What is happening with my competition? Are they getting better talent? Do they have better product? Do they have another competitive advantage that I should be worried? So if I am talking to a professor or I am talking to a student, can they enable me with a knowledge that I don't know? Third thing, if I am working on something, can I get actionable intelligence? Everybody can come and say, reduce your cost, increase profit, but how? How to do it, right? I need actionable intelligence and continuous innovation to stay ahead. Next slide. So here is what is happening. Yeah, next slide. There are new business models emerging. You might think today, Amazon is only an e-commerce player and now known for cloud. Today, Amazon is the biggest bank on earth that you may not be knowing. That is what is happening. A lot of banks will automatically get disrupted if Amazon start calling itself bank. What I have done in the center, I put Chase Bank, UK's largest bank. Every single service they have is what Amazon already has. In fact, Amazon might be having more customers using these products than Chase Bank. What that reflects, Amazon needs people to think new business models. A bank provides loan, Amazon provides loan. Amazon has more vendors and customers to provide loan. You need cash, you have cash. You need Visa card, you have Visa card. Every single service a bank has. So if you're looking tomorrow to work for a bank, you may not even realize today's e-commerce player is tomorrow's bank. Like Apple Watch is the biggest healthcare brand in the market right now. It's not Pfizer, Baxter's of the world. It's Apple Watch that is biggest healthcare brand right now. So business models are changing, right? Next slide. Second, like I said, they want to have competitive advantage. I was an e-commerce player. There are hundreds of e-commerce players right now. I started 2-day delivery. You order in 2 days, I'll get delivery. Amazon said, how do I stay competitive here? Can I get anticipatory shipping? Already 4 states in India are getting this. You may not even have placed the order. You'll get a message. I know tomorrow your ink cartridge is getting over. We have already shipped it for you. It's on the way. If you don't need, reply back. Now imagine to do this, to anticipate that you need this product tomorrow. I have to ship it. I need to understand your usage pattern. I need to talk to the manufacturer. I need to ship it, keep it in my warehouse. And if I go wrong, I will lose billions. So I have to be so accurate that you will definitely say, yes, I need it, right? Why they are doing this? Competitive advantage. So if you are talking to a company during your interview, none of your answers reflect that you understand the company, it's not going to work out. You have to outsmart others, right? Average is slowly going to be very difficult to compete because, like Salesforce said, by 2030, I don't need engineers. And I'm not here to scare you. Like when computers came, everybody said, what will happen? Jobs will go. Which country benefited max when computers came? India. So in a short term, you will definitely see job loss. For example, a small startup, 15, 20 people only, I had 2 people writing marketing content for me. The day ChatGPT came, next week I didn't have those 2 people. Because the content they were writing, AI was doing much better job than them, right? Basic coding, AI is writing much better job than them. But that doesn't mean in short term, everything is gone. Creativity, how to make the AI work is where going to be most of the skill involved, right? So unless you are leveraging tools to maximize productivity, if today I go back and say, how much time will you take to write a program? And you say, I'll take a week. I don't have time to show you. There is a site called diagramgpt.com. Just say, write this program. Go to versal.com, say, write this program. Less than 10 seconds. Less than 10 seconds. My 15 engineering team, 3 of them sit out of Rourkela actually. Work for me in Bangalore, they sit in Rourkela only. They do 30 people job because each of them have GitHub Copilot. As a student, if you are not using GitHub Copilot, you are 20 years behind right now. Right? So please understand the reality. Tomorrow, if you are having difficulty getting a job, nobody can help you because you are trying to be lazy. Understand what is happening in the market, what tools are coming, what people are talking. Industries on LinkedIn. How many of you are connecting to LinkedIn, on LinkedIn to people? Right? Very important. Now, next slide. Let's see how innovation is working. Just a quick slide. Just play next. Click next. And volume. Increase the volume. No, next. Yeah, play it. It's a video.
That's so beautiful. Oh my God. Oh, what's going on here? Look at that. Wow. It's incredible. It's crazy.
Do you think this is futuristic? I have been showing this video for last 5 years. Now the idea is, if I am a mechanical student learning about automobile auto parking system, can I use that concept to do home automation using IoT, right? Innovation, how do I apply this? Where else can I apply? Now I don't have time to cover rest, but here is what I want to do or I want to propose. So what I do currently with Hire GPT is skill assessment. Companies are using AI to say, today thousands of students are applying or employees are applying. I don't have time to talk to most of the students or applicants, and they talk to 20, 30 only. Versus they use our product to talk to every single candidate that is applying, do first round interviews. Similarly, colleges are using this for skill assessment. Now, I want to propose one thing, and I will talk with Shiv sir and VC sir. For 50 students at least to start with a pilot. Once you finish your internship, we will do a skill assessment, conversational, one-on-one, personalized to see how well you have gone through the internship. Have I understood the concept? What's my strength? What's my weakness? Or I just got a tick mark? Because if you don't do that basic, you will have difficulty getting into the industry anyway, right? And I'm happy to take 1 or 2 students to work on the generative AI to fine-tune it for it, right? So work with me to make this fine-tuned for your colleges and further, right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I would request Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, to kindly come on stage and felicitate Mr. Devikara, sir. I request Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, to provide the certificate of appreciation to Mr. Devikar. I would request Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Amir Kumar Raj sir to felicitate Mr. Jasdeep Singh. Sir, please. A big round of applause, please. Thank you, sir. Now, with concluding panel 2, I request the delegates to join the high tea at BPUT Yoga Park.
So it's a little convenient announcement. All the teachers, faculty members and officials and delegates, please move to our Bibhudatta Yoga Park for an interaction session over there. And the students, please have your high tea over here, and please be seated in the auditorium accordingly so that we can start